Yes, people, we are back. The back page. I'm here with the man, them, my guy Jerry.
Come
Had
on.
my back for the couple last week. So
Come on,
Jerry's my
your
guy
back.
still.
Come on.
And then we've got Sam as well.
Who's been on you? He's been
You
on
know
your
what
back.
I mean?
Nah, man. Shegs has come up with some outlandish things sometimes, man.
And obviously shout out to John as well because, fam, Arsenal finally got a win against Spurs, and it was a big win at home.
Big win.
North London is red, apparently. It's
Well,
mad.
it is, isn't it? It's a derby, and when it's a derby, even though Arsenal haven't had the best start to the season, when it comes to a derby, I think you have to forget about that and you know, perform for your club. We all know that the derby is a big thing.
And you know what's mad? I swear that's 4 wins on the trot.
What, for Arsenal?
Yeah.
All competition.
All comps. Yeah, 3 in the Prem.
Yeah, that's good.
So what, Arteta in?
I mean, do you know what it is? I think that now that their players are coming back, like they're proper first teamers, then you can maybe now start judging him off these performances, isn't it? I think that when you're coming to play against Brentford, with a very mediocre side that you have, you can't expect some of the youngers and some maybe inexperienced first team members that haven't really had a game to come and just outperform Brentford. Do you understand?
Still.
Or just outperform other teams. Like to say, other teams are just washed. So I think this first team that we see Arsenal, I think Arsenal just have a decent, good 11.
Just about.
Yeah,
Just about.
literally, I agree. So,
But yeah, moving on swiftly because this is going to lead into one of the topics that we're actually speaking about. But I do have to say Oli out. I have to
From
say
the back.
Oli out, man. I have to just say Oli out, man. Like now it's just like confirmed because like, bruv, he can't win. He can't win at home. He can't win. Like I don't understand how you can have those players and you're still flopping. I remember saying last week that our run of games is looking peak. Started with
it's
Villa,
not easy. It's
and
not
we've
easy.
lost the first one.
Yeah.
We've lost the first one, and this was probably the easiest out of the lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
facts. And
Yeah,
the thing
man.
is, I think now it's just looking, like I know that we talk about Ole a lot and United a lot. It's going to happen in it because, I mean, if the guy's not doing the correct things, we're going to complain. But I just think that it's just getting to a point where now it's just looking like, you know, individuals. It's not looking like a team.
It's not.
And when we're talking about Ole not having a game plan or you know, setting out a team to you know, to make work of a next team, it's like, bro, like what are you doing? You actually have a good team.
Do you know what's frustrating? I bet he goes on a run of games and wins without losing. I bet you.
I don't see it.
Every time he jumps on the line,
Dude, should I
So
remind
he does
you?
a madness,
yeah,
innit? He does a madness, innit?
every time.
He does a madness.
Since he signed,
Yeah,
since he came
it's
to the
true.
club, every time.
Oh, this is the end of that, bruv. but I brought United up because, like, something that happened after that match, and it's something that we have seen a lot in recent times. Players come into social media and feeling like they have to apologize, whether it's to the fans or whether to like clear their conscience. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, Bruno, he missed the penalty. It was a wild penalty, I'm not gonna lie. It was mad, but we're not gonna dwell on that one. It was mad.
For real.
But you know what's funny? Before I land, yeah, Martinez, bruv, do you see how this guy celebrated?
Yeah,
Did
He's
you
not
see the
even-
mind game as
yeah,
well?
Yeah, the mind game.
Man
was-
said what? Ronaldo's not taking it?
what?
I
You
said,
take it?
nah, man.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I rate this Martinez keeper. You know,
Yeah.
I feel I'm so confused to how Arsenal didn't really
I don't
give this
get
guy a chance.
I don't
to be
get it.
honest. I'll be so real because I think as a keeper, like he's got a good character
Yeah.
kind of thing. I feel like that's the kind of keeper you will want to kind of like maybe get your team going from the back to a degree.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, man, it's very funny to see.
Word, charisma.
Yeah, that's the one.
Charisma.
Yeah, he's got very good charisma. So it's very interesting to see that unfold for Aston Villa and how he interacts. He doesn't mind getting at another player. And
doesn't
be like,
mind.
I want the smoke, which is good.
I
And
like it, bruv. got personality, man.
Yeah,
I
he
like
does,
it.
isn't it?
But yeah, Bruno Fernandes took to social media to come and apologise for that woeful penalty. And this is something common. This is something that we've been seeing bare players do. Like, they come to social media and say, oh, sorry for this, missed this penalty. Oh, just say, like, what do you guys think about that? Like, what do you feel?
I don't like it. I don't like it. Something about it that it feels like it's like pandering.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can apologize, but don't come with a whole paragraph and then your whole teammates are liking it. Like to say you don't share a changing room and you didn't apologize in the changing room.
Yeah, do you know what makes me laugh is when those players now come and comment and be like, oh, don't worry, pick your head up, lad, or something like that. I'm like, this is so dead. Like, this is whack.
Again, like you're saying, Jerry, these same players or even the coaches are saying next week we go again.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's a final or it's a semi-final, like it's a one-off game.
So what? So every game now, when you make a mistake, you're gonna have to apologize.
Can you imagine? Like, we just like fans. I don't know if it's because maybe players are seeing fans just lose it week in, week out now, and they're trying to give some fans, the reassurance that they're gonna do better. But I mean, how many games do footballers play every year? Like, what, 50-something games?
Right. Yeah.
And what? So for every game that they play, you want them to come out and apologize. I just think that if they have a bad game, you move on to the next game. You move on. I think all the pandering, all the paragraphs, all the emotional letters. Like,
So you're not here for it.
no.
The only one I can maybe accept is like if you get sent off and it was your fault. Like you do a reckless tackle and you leave your teammates out there. That I can understand why you apologize.
Okay.
You felt like you've let your teammates down.
Yeah.
But then it's better for you to apologize in the change room. Don't apologize.
Yeah, facts.
Because at the end of the day, it's like the reason why you're apologizing publicly is to the fans mainly because let's be real, you could do the boys I apologize for getting sent off in the change room and leave it as that.
That's true.
And the man them will be like, oh, it's not a problem. We'll go again next game. Like, we're gonna probably have you, not have you for 2 to 3 games maybe, or maybe a game.
Yeah.
And you'll be back the next game. But I think it's for the fans. I think it's for the fans.
It's definitely for the fans.
I think the
Definitely
fans, some fans, I won't say all, I think some fans want to feel like
The players. Yeah. I heard that.
Also, you don't know though. It might be for the player as well.
It might be because
They
again,
need that closure.
yeah.
From the
Because I'm
incident.
even looking at that. Well, the scenario we're talking about with Bruno, like that was a penalty to bring the game 1-1. So he's probably feeling like, I let the club down. Like all of this.
point.
kind
how
of
many
stuff and all
times
this kind
has
of stuff.
Bruno or any player been in a situation where you could have almost either won the game or drawn the game or something, and
It's
you,
true.
and
It's true. You missed a one-on-one or
missed a one-on-one,
something.
like,
Yeah.
So
it's
was
true.
you
No, fair enough.
apologizing then?
No,
Like,
it's true.
get it?
No, I hear it. I feel like it's just because this social media generation.
I just think that football's
Like, it's
getting a bit
just-
too sensitive. It's getting a bit too.
It is.
We're getting to a point where you can't show frustration as a fan to another player for maybe doing something wrong, and then you get when we're looking at the England situation and the Saka thing, the Jadon Sancho and the Rashford thing, and everyone was coming to their defense. Like, I can understand coming to their defense in terms of the racism,
Yeah.
but coming to their aid for missing a penalty, it's like I understand that. Yeah, court's a final and whatnot, but you just go again. Like, it's just at the end of the day, it's just a game.
Like that. Well, don't say that.
No.
Don't.
No. I
You
know,
guys
like,
triggering
life
that's
goes
the-
on.
that's-
No,
like
life goes on.
Like, life goes on. Like, I mean,
Right.
like, obviously, like, yes, it's something that these men are trained to be the best at.
Yeah.
And they're passionate about. But when you actually, when it comes down to black and white, it's just a game. There's going to be
Facts.
another game. There's going to be
Facts.
another moment for you to be the hero. There's going to be another time for your team to succeed. Like, come on, like, if these players were to think about every time they've missed a one-on-one or they've had a bad game for however many for over their career, I doubt that we'll be seeing any player play well if they're just thinking about the games that they have play crap in. You
heard
know?
that still.
I think, yeah, man.
I
I
heard
don't know, man.
Yeah, me, I don't mind an apology once. Well, no, I don't care for the apologies, but like for some matches, like if I'm an Arsenal fan and Xhaka is there for my shirt, yeah, apologise. But missing a penny, I don't really care.
Yeah, like
for that kind of
something
stuff
like that.
Yeah,
Like what Xhaka did.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
maybe
that-
you can
that-
come
yeah,
out
that you
and be
can
like, oh, I
apologise.
apologise for my actions or my behaviour. Emotions got the better of me, but because of penalty, come on, man.
Well, it's just a gimmick now. Like,
Yeah, man. It's like
talking of gimmicks, yeah. There's been a lot of talks and a lot of people have come out to now start saying stuff like bending the knee is losing its power. Like I saw Alonso, he's a very bold man, to come out and come and say that, hey, listen, I'm not gonna bend the knee anymore. He's gonna point to the respect thing there. What do you lot think about that? The whole knee, the whole kick it out, the whole. What do you guys think about it?
it's techie, innit? Like, how long have we been talking about
Very long
long.
time.
racism?
Very long time.
John, so
Uh,
I feel like we've been talking about racism in football for almost like what 3
Forever.
years.
Forever.
Forever, basically. And if we're gonna always just kneel every game, but within the kneeling, what has changed?
nothing
Like,
exists.
what things have been put in place for anything that is against racism? Like, do teams get deducted points? Do even if it's an international break or whatever, do countries get kicked out of the competition straight away? Nothing.
None of that.
Nothing
None of
happens.
that.
So I can understand, like, you know, when players are saying, you know what, I'm gonna stop kneeling. I do.
Yeah, it's lost its meaning. Like what it stood for in the beginning, it's kind of like been diluted now because they've been doing it for so long. So it's like, okay, yeah, it's this time when they quickly kneel again and then the match will start. Oh, what they kneeling for again? People don't probably don't even remember no more.
It's just becoming like a match.
Is it
a match
true?
in
Yeah.
routine.
It's like, why we actually, it's like, can people actually remember in the first place why they're kneeling now? Because I'm sure that the reason why players were kneeling anyway was all for that George Floyd thing, correct?
No, I won't say it was that-
It started
that
off
kind of
around
kick,
that, yeah.
But yeah.
So it's like, even that, it's like, you know, did the footballing world show gratitude to the to what happened within the case? You know, in terms of the police officer getting sentenced. Like, you know, was there any type of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like, not even appreciation, but, you know, like, acknowledgement that you supported the correct decision in what, you know, the American justice system has given. Because I think, isn't it, obviously, if it's at the back of the George Floyd thing, then, you know, shouldn't you show some type of acknowledgement towards that?
With that, I feel like it was off the back in terms of like the whole George Floyd thing started the whole kind of race talk and people like the protests and all that kind of stuff. So it brought the kind of issue again to the spotlight. I don't necessarily feel like that kneeling was directly linked to like the George Floyd thing. It was more just a stance that the players wanted to start taking to like kind of say we're against racism. Which again, I feel like it's just becoming a match day routine. Like it's just become a thing. The only thing that I would say is that it's still better than nothing. Like it's still showing that football. What I actually let me rephrase what I'm saying. What I feel like should be done, number one, is that I don't know whether before the match they make an announcement or they put something on the screens just to remind people what the actual reason for the kneeling is or something like that.
Yeah.
Because like now it's just like, okay, yeah, it's just
lost
like,
in
it's
translation.
just like,
No, I agree with that.
And when do you stop it? So
Yeah.
racism is never
It's
gonna
true. When do you
go
stop
away,
it?
you know,
When do you
anytime
actually-
soon.
when
So
do you
when do you
stop
stop
it?
kneeling?
So
It's true, man, I've been kneeling for a
it's
while,
true,
you know.
for a minute.
I'm keeping it for a long time.
So it's like, is the FA going to go to the clubs individually and be like, and have the conversation with them and be like, and ask the players, so how do you feel about stop kneeling and stuff like
Someone
that.
needs to have this conversation because it's a conversation that it's too sensitive for everybody to have. So that's why I feel like everyone's still kneeling.
Like in the Prem, obviously I don't know if they have it, but maybe I have to do a bit of research on that. But do the players have like a players union?
Yeah, PFA.
They do have a players
PFA.
union.
What like
Wow.
where? Like,
Professionals Football Association.
what like no? So like you know like.
It's like their union. It's basically their union.
So what? So where they can go to the FA?
Yeah, if they've got anything.
And like try and liaise certain stuff.
Like
so
laws
who's the
and stuff.
like
Head of the PFA.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, you know.
No.
I'm not sure, but you know what's so funny? You mentioned that there's a podcast called Baller Talk
Yeah.
that I like watching, and there's one about the PFA. I want to watch it. I want to watch it.
Yeah, send it in the
group.
Yeah, I'll
Baller
send it.
Talk one.
Yeah, that
Look onto
podcast
the
sick.
because I don't really hear about players union in English football or
One thing I've heard about is that captains, the captains come together. I don't know, in the G20 meeting.
yeah.
The captains come together.
Man said
I don't know,
G20 meeting.
I just remember Henderson calling a meeting last season or something like that to discuss racism. I don't know what happened with that, but it was just bare news that all the Premier League captains are meeting up, or something like that. Don't know whether they're meeting up for drinks or what. Like,
Yeah, I definitely would love to know if they have a players union.
They
because I
do,
feel-
they do.
Yeah.
Because I just
So then
googled
who's
it.
the-
It's
so
called the
who's
PFA, the Professional Football Association.
Who's
It's
the
the
head of it?
union for all current and former footballers
So who's the head
and
of it?
scholars in the Premier League.
yeah, that's how
So like who's the
Trying to get
president of it?
to get these man on.
Because wouldn't it be like, shouldn't it be like a player that's
It should actually be a player,
playing now
yeah.
to like liaise certain things?
It should be a player, but
true.
you know these things is just gonna be one a random don. Like,
Yeah, like
you know these things. But that even leads me to another question as well. Like, so again, for me, when I think about even racism and a lot of these issues within football, I'm just like, do the footballers not have a mouth? Like, do you can you not be vocal about some of these issues or speak about it? Like, is it just you play football and that's it, and as long as you get your P's, you're calm to accept or tolerate all of this trash, or what is it? So that leads me to the question, like, what impacts or like what powers do you think modern day footballers have in society?
Well, they have some type of influence or impact. I mean, we've seen it with Marcus Rashford and the whole children school free meals and stuff like that. But when we're talking about like racism and these things, and in terms of players talking up about it, I think a lot of them are shook. I think a lot of them are scared. I think a lot of them just want to get their money. Like for me, I don't know, like maybe what I'm about to say might be a bit outlandish, but I feel like especially for black players in this generation now, or maybe in the past 2 to 3 years, it's almost as if it's okay to be black within football or be from a certain area with you know. I don't think that we don't really see. We're starting to see a lot of more footballers talk about what ends they're from now or where they've come from, as rather than before. You're not really hearing guys, are proud that they've come from this and they've made it out. They made something into nothing, kind of thing. But now it's like, I'm from this and I'm from West, or I'm from like North, or this and that, or I'm from the Midlands, or. But yeah, I think now it seems like it's okay to be black and from the ends in football.
Yeah, I think so. It's true. You even hear it in like commentary and stuff like that. Like these will be like, oh yeah, this guy's from South London. That's where he developed his skills and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's definitely true. But do you know what? When you're even saying like some players are scared and stuff like that, like part of me is like, fam, this is probably the point where I feel like players have the most power. But then when I look at situations like Ozil speaking out about China and that, and then him just basically getting just X'd, like it makes me also think like there's still powers in football that can, they can switch off for you, man.
It's true.
100%. But I think sometimes there has to be that person who will go on the top of the hill and take the shots.
Use that person.
Who's that
I don't
person?
know. I don't know.
It's you.
Obviously, no, I don't know.
Nobody wants to be that
Man.
person. I don't want to be that person.
Salary, just get on.
Innit?
Like, just get blacklisted.
just like what we were talking about. I think that maybe like a few podcasts ago, like maybe a year ago, before lockdown, we were talking about Colin Kaepernick, and he was that guy on the mountain or on the hill. Like the NFL are not allowing him to play in the NFL anymore, but he's still done something to maybe change.
Now everybody's seen that, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, after seeing what Colin Kaepernick went through,
Mm-hmm.
now everyone's witnessed it.
Yeah.
Would you now want to take that bullet?
Well,
After you've seen now,
I think that
you've
from
seen
the,
it in 3D.
I think that from the back of it, I think it's kind of opened up better conversations, and I think a few players have come together to like maybe start up certain organizations or do certain things or give money away to help. But I think within the country, I think within football, we don't see players linking up to be like, oh, let's start up a some type of organization to stop this or to
Mata started something. He done like, I think it's called like 1% or 2% or something, where you sign up as a charity and you give away 2% of your wage to fight, I don't know, it's homeless or children or something.
But I just think that in terms of, if we're talking about like racism and like some black players, like, again, like I'm not saying that black players or athletes should come and put their money, their direct money into certain things, but I think that by them coming together, you all know like maybe PR companies that would bite at the chance for you to do certain things if you try to present the opportunity to them. But I just feel like we don't do that as within the black community really. But why is that?
I don't know. Maybe it's something new.
I actually don't know.
It's something new. Most footballers didn't know about branding and stuff. Only the bait footballers had branding, like
That's
Beckham
true.
and.
But then, if we're looking at this like racism as a branding thing, then.
But you need to be a brand if you wanna. If your message wants to get across to the masses, you have to be a brand that people like and
people care about.
Yeah, care about. Otherwise, if it was Marcus Rashford was in division, I don't know, League One, and he was an average baller, do you think Boris Johnson was gonna listen to him?
That's fair. That's very true. But do you have to rely on your branding to get to?
You're not relying on your branding. You're using it.
Yeah, you're using it. Yeah, you do need to have an audience. If you don't have an audience, then
no, 100%. But I mean, like, I don't know if you are like Jerry saying, if you're like in League One or a Championship, and you feel like, right, you know what, like, what's happening? I don't like it and I want to do something. Like, the fact that you started it and you're getting other players involved, now you can be the person to start it, and how the branding might come on. Like, you may know that, okay, like me myself, I haven't got that much fans, but now if I now was to go and get players from,
you might have a famous friend,
exactly,
famous baller.
You get it, and then that's how you now get, oh, this person got the likes of Pogba or these people to come to jump on board to the whatever movement someone starts. I think it's just all about starting the movement. But I just think that why are players scared to start a movement to seek change?
It's true. It's interesting question, man. Maybe we need to start getting some.
It's hard. I think it's like a question for society, not just footballers. You can say that about most other professionals.
That's a valid point.
Of course, 100%. 100%. It's true. Even like when you're working, it's like you get workers who are scared to maybe speak up, because if you speak up, you might lose your job. And then again, it begs to ask the question: who's going to be that person to go on the hill and stand up for what they believe in? Because you could be that person to stand up within your workplace, but then you could be the person to get snaked, get sacked, or lose your job industry without money. But then it's like, that's when integrity comes into play, isn't it? That's when integrity comes into play.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's a harder decision to make when you've got like mouths to feed. And most footballers are working class. Most footballers came from like, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but the amount of money that they are getting, and maybe amount of,
but also the amount of people that are relying on that money that they're getting.
The lifestyle is different.
Now, I am not saying that, you know, again, I don't know how footballers spend their money. They can spend their money however they like to, but I'm assuming that a majority of footballers have savings or might have businesses, like doing other things. So I think that, you know, I just think maybe, like I said, integrity has a big part to play. If you have integrity, then I feel like you should, to a degree, if you're someone who's passionate about making change, be like, you know what, I don't mind not having a certain type of salary because I do have businesses here and here, and they can still get me the income that I want, while I can still maybe set up a movement to seek change.
I feel like the media needs to start highlighting some of these people doing stuff, because I feel like in America they do tend to like highlight that kind of stuff. You see it more, they talk about it, like even as you're growing as a player or whatever, like those kind of things are also there to also kind of boost your profile kind of thing. So someone like LeBron James, he has his hand in charities and they highlight that kind of stuff. Over here we don't tend to kind of do that.
But that's the thing, like, do you think that the media want to portray athletes in a good light?
They don't. They actually, especially this UK media, they definitely don't.
Mainstream media,
they don't.
The good stuff, I only hear the good stuff like on Twitter or Instagram or something.
Honestly,
but on mainstream news sources and that, nah.
They just want to hear, this
Gossip.
player is
But
getting
then,
charged for rape.
do you know what the
or
maddest
this and
thing
that.
is? But I think that when we're going back to like America and stuff like that, I feel like, not that the media there are forced to, but to a degree they have to, because the NBA majority, like, if you're looking at the NBA, majority of the players there are black.
Yeah.
So,
It's true,
it's like you're gonna have to talk about what these players are doing, even in maybe NFL, like maybe majority of players are black, so you're gonna have to talk about these things. But then again, even like I was saying, in their contracts, these people's contracts,
What? The NBA?
their NBA and NFL contracts, they, in their contracts, they have to do a certain amount of charitable work.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're saying we
contracts
should
are
copy
different,
UK? You're
bruv.
saying UK should copy?
Yeah. I think so. But
To be honest, when I was watching the Amazon documentary for Tottenham, every episode, one of the players were going to
have to do something within the community,
to help the community.
Yeah.
So maybe they do it, but we
That's
just
the thing,
don't
they
know.
don't highlight. We don't.
We just
I
don't
think
know.
that maybe
Yeah.
like, they need to start bringing these things more to the forefront, because I think that it will also allow fans to see certain players in a different light, and I think it will also show fans that not every player is just focusing on their own P's or their own salary. That there are some players that do care about the community that they're playing for, to a degree.
I heard that still. But yeah, moving on, and what is very interesting, I feel like in the last couple of weeks there's been a lot of like interviews and documentaries and stuff like that of players that were once at the top and have fallen from grace. I'm going to name some names. We spoke about the other day about Wilshere. Recently, Phil Jones has come out to come and speak, Jack Rodwell. The list goes on and on and on. And there's a lot of other players as well that fall into that bracket of players that didn't necessarily reach their full potential.
Yeah.
And all within that kind of certain generation, I can name like Daniel Sturridge, Danny Welbeck, a lot of players that within that kind of age range did not reach that where they should be kind of thing. And it just kind of brings like the question, what do you feel like the reason is for that within like a generation? Is it injuries? Is it the lifestyle? Is it now the money that that was now pumped into football within that time? Like, what affects the kind of growth of the generation? Because now I'll say like this now new generation, they look like they're gonna be doing a madness kind of thing, and it's kind of weird.
I think it's all different types of factors, isn't it? I think that the years that go by, there's going to be more money pumped into football. There's going to be more players getting money. There's going to be new technology in order to enhance people's performances and track how good they're doing. Family, if you have a good
network,
support system behind you. Depends on how serious you're taking your career. Like if you're going to training, how seriously are you training? Are you putting in 100%? How important do you class your individual work? So that could be you working on shooting, dribbling, crossing, whatever the case may be. I think it's just different things, isn't it, for different people. I mean, we've seen I don't know, like someone like Ronaldo, he looks after his body. I don't know how much he spends on his body, but he spends a lot of money on his body. I think I heard Sir Alex Ferguson say that he's got like an ice chamber in his house, so when he comes back for
quick recovery,
stuff like that. So I just think it's down to the player on how serious you take football, what kind of career you want. Are you trying to be the best, or are you just trying to be someone that just wants to provide or have a good living? So it's different things, isn't it?
Okay, Jerry, what are you telling me?
Personally, I think it might be down to just different players have different ages where they hit their peak, and I feel like that generation you're speaking about maybe had an early peak, and then they've fallen off towards the tail end of their career. Where some players, like I don't know, like Jesse Lingard, had a late peak.
Yeah,
like he's kicked on towards now. Like he's proper coming out his shot when he had his loan with West Ham.
Yeah. Was you saying? Is it Ridwell you was talking about?
Rodwell, yeah.
Rodwell, didn't he go America, right? Was it him?
Been
That
all
went
over.
America.
I don't know if he's gone America, but he's been everywhere.
Wait, who's Rodwell again?
Jack.
Jack Rodwell.
He was kind of like light skinned, right?
Yeah.
He had like shaved head.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't him or someone else, but I forgot his name. Lee. Is it Lee something?
And went America.
I think he used to play for. I want to say either Stoke or West Brom. But I forgot his name. But he was basically saying that when he moved leagues, that he found the love for football again. So when he moved to America to play football for a new challenge, he.
Would you classify moving to America as falling off?
I think so.
I think so.
Respectfully.
so.
Respectfully, yes.
No, not even respectfully. I'm not gonna lie.
Respectfully,
I think so.
Respectfully, yes.
Honestly,
And no.
if you are below the age of 30 and you go to America, that's an L. What are you doing? That's an L.
Yeah, that I agree.
That's an L.
Yeah, that I agree.
That's an L.
That I agree with, because it's like MLS, you're gonna mash it up.
Fam.
Like,
It's a retirements league.
Yeah, I could probably go there now and mash it up.
Fam.
Like,
I've
do you
seen
get it?
Donny's
You know
like
what I'm trying to
Nanny
say?
and these lot just tearing it up
mashing
over there,
it up,
bro.
innit?
Tearing it up.
I think that's just man, it's different things, isn't it, for different people, man.
But would you say like whether it's, I don't know, the clubs, the FA, for example, do you feel like anybody could do more? Because I feel like it is weird, because we also do have young players that are peaking early now. Well, maybe we can't even say whether they're peaking, but young players that are bursting onto the scene now, and it kind of looks like they're more, I don't know whether they're integrated into the team better. Like I don't know. It gives me the vibe like they're more comfortable within.
I just think,
the team.
I think maybe it's a thing where, again, maybe it's the facilities that are getting better.
That's
Coaching.
true.
Oh, yeah.
Like coaching is getting better.
They've got the data now on fitness,
data.
and they can track.
Because remember, like now, a lot of
training.
academies now, like are starting to have their own training pitch. Do you understand?
Some
So
of
it's
these
not
academies
so it's
are
not
mad,
it's not
like-
no longer now that where there's a big pitch and it's, you know, you have your first team there, you have maybe the under 18s and 17s together. Now it's like first teams with first team, the youth, your academy might have their own pitch somewhere elsewhere. Do you understand? So I feel like, you know, they get to focus on what they need to do and not really look at where they need to be. Because even though like you might find players that are coming up, the real question is, are they ready? Because there's one thing that I think as a club that you don't want to do is give someone their opportunity sooner than they should. Because only God knows what that would do to their mentality, or how they might now perceive themselves and think, yeah, I'm a first teamer now, so I don't have to work as hard. So I think it's just depends on how you balance, you know, people's careers, or how they kind of how they balance their own career as well, isn't it?
That makes sense. Still, that makes sense. And just to end off, obviously, as you can see, we don't have Chins here, which is a good thing because Chins has been saying some wild stuff.
Outlandish
So
stuff.
I'm well at him, and he'll see this because like here, bunchins and all of that, innit?
What's the bunchins, you know?
But he did put a question here, yeah, and he said, "What is happening to AFCON?" And it's funny because, again, like when I was younger, I don't know. Were you guys following AFCON back in the day?
AFCON was dry, bro.
it
I
wasn't-
watched AFCON.
Maybe
What
the
you guys think?
finals,
I was
maybe the
watching
semis
AFCON,
and the
bro.
finals I caught it.
I watched
But
AFCON.
the qualifiers and then the
Alright,
the
can I
group
ask you a
stage,
question?
I didn't catch
So,
it.
what is so captivating about AFCON that you want to see?
AFCON boo, bruv.
So messy.
Dry
It's
pitches.
so messy.
Listen, I relate to that. I relate to those kind of pitches. I relate to that. The pace, the power,
pitches?
all of
The
that.
decision making
Like,
annoys me.
it's-
You know when you watch it, man,
That's
it's
why I
like
like
pass the ball, bro.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it
Oh.
entertaining, man. Not everything is just prim and proper. When a match that's meant to kick off at 7:30, it's kicking off at 7:47.
Yes, man.
That's interesting to me, man. That's lit.
I read the other day. I think who does Naby Keita play for? What country?
I don't
Is
know.
it
I
Senegal?
think they got not they either they got kidnapped or their plane got delayed or something.
Crazy, man.
These times they're stuck.
crazy.
Nah, guys, let's be honest.
Crazy.
Nah.
Right.
If we've seen Adebayo's team's bus get shut up,
Bro,
Yeah, it's mad.
we've seen
It's mad.
people get kidnapped. We're hearing all of these things.
money not get paid, players not get
so
paid.
It's like if AFCON is not taking themselves serious as a competition, you can't expect you know, fans to take it serious.
And is it every 2 years?
It's every 2 years.
That's why,
it's-
man.
man.
That's why
no
it's
one
too
cares
much.
about it.
That's
too
you know what
much.
it is for me? Is when it is in January.
As
Yeah.
well,
It's in January.
yeah,
That's
you're
what's
boying
like-
it. You're
so you
boying
can't-
it. So
so-
the seasons,
yeah,
we're watching
season-
Prem. You
yeah,
want me to
literally.
now stop
Literally.
watching Prem and
Peak.
watch
It's actually
AFCON?
Yeah.
peak. It's actually
Nah.
peak.
Or either maybe watch a match, then stay up till bare late.
I can't
to
do
watch
that.
AFCON,
I
yeah.
can't do
Can't
that.
it.
Man.
That's what happened to, was it what is it? What's the other thing that was on while the Euros was on?
Oh,
Olympics.
Copa America.
Or
That's
Copa
the one
America.
That's why I was even gonna
Olympics.
ask. I was even
One of
gonna
the
ask-
two, boy.
Yeah,
I was
man,
even gonna
all of
ask
that.
you lot. So after the Euros, yeah, in terms of like continental thing, who's there? Is it CONCACAF? What's
Conca what?
What's
That's
the
South American.
North
No,
America?
that's North America.
North
That's
America.
like Mexico,
Yeah,
America,
Is
and
it?
Canada,
yeah,
that,
those
yeah,
other
yeah,
islands.
Oh,
yeah,
like you were
yeah,
saying that in
yeah.
Jamaica, right?
Jamaica,
Yeah.
they're block there.
Yeah. Panama and them, man.
Copa America. I don't know what the Asian one is.
You see the
I
Copa
don't-
America thing? They should just any country that's from like the class as America or whatever.
So what you
they
say,
like
just
that,
do
they
the whole
yeah,
America
do the whole
together.
thing, man. It's
But
like,
that's deep
That's
for
too
like,
much countries,
That's deep
though.
for like Jamaica and that.
but it's
Like
just like
they would
no,
never.
but Jamaica will be in it as well, no?
Yeah,
But they would they?
But
qualify
it'll just be like the World
tense.
Cup type thing, isn't it?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's
But let's be
tense.
real, man. AFCON's dead. So is Copa
Wow.
America. It is. It's dry, man.
Damn, son.
We
Nah, but it's dry for us, yeah. But Americans might love it. Africans might love it.
That's, yeah.
Africans
It's not
don't
dry
love
for me. Or
They might,
It's
we
not
don't
dry
know.
for me.
Nah, man.
He's
We
not
don't
sent
know.
tickets, man. We go and watch it.
They might love it back home. Back home, they might be lapping it up.
It's true, maybe.
That's true. That is true. But I feel like if you want the whole world to take to take heed of it. You need to do something where it will spice it up a bit and get people wanting to watch AFCON. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I feel like AFCON is dry, bro.
No, what you're saying is a valid point as well, because again, when I think about the amount of African players that are playing now, I feel like there's more quality or more African players playing in top leagues than even in South America right now, presently. But AFCON is still looked at like such a dry and dead thing.
Then maybe
you're just telling me they need to actually do some investment or something to actually draw people to watch it.
But again, like we also have to look at it as well. All of the African ballers that are balling play for a European country. So, you know, does that now mean that, I don't know, the likes of your Pogbas and all of these kind of players, just, I don't know, go back to
that's
your mother's,
these lot need to start
your
doing
parents'
that as well.
thing, isn't it? Innit?
Definitely need to start doing that.
That will help, but I don't think it will solve.
I think
the
it will.
issue.
You
I
know?
think the issue is deeper than the players. It's the actual governing bodies. Like I swear at one point there was a few African governing bodies that got banned because it's against the law. It's against the law for a government of a country to get involved in FIFA
Oh, is it?
football. Yeah, it's against the law. So if a government gets involved, they will ban the association, the football association of that country.
Okay, I understand.
And African countries always have a problem with that.
I just think that, you know, I think that the AFCON thing, I think they just, whoever's a part of or whoever's in control of it, I think they just kind of, they pattern it how they pattern African countries.
And that's not a good thing.
Yeah,
by
it's
the
not
way,
a good thing. Yeah, it's not a good
listeners.
thing.
By the way,
It's not a good thing.
It's not.
Yeah, that's how I think it's just like, I'm getting the money, I want to pocket it, and whatever happens, happens. If you have fun, you have fun. If you don't have fun,
and you know, I know it's not a football thing because the same thing happened in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Was it what was it? Nigeria.
I remember the howler with Nigeria.
that got sent their kit.
And they did it
late.
Oh my
I think,
days.
So
Puma gave them what millions worth of just not kits,
And they didn't want to give it
trainers,
to the
everything.
athletes. They didn't want to give it to the
Can you
athletes.
imagine?
They wanted
So-
to keep it. Nah, that's a mad.
It's an African thing. It's not football.
yeah, yeah, it's true, innit? It is, isn't it? I feel that Africa as a nation or continent, whatever you want to call it, we need to pattern up. And pattern up to a point where people.
I
take us more
honestly
seriously.
thought, we would have seen a African team win the World Cup by now. I thought by now.
Nah,
2020.
thinking about
We're
the
in
players that have come
2020.
through.
Yeah, but
Possibly,
all
man.
the top African ballers are playing in, let's say, like, if you're looking at your Lukaku's, your Pogba's, Lukaku's at Belgium, Pogba's at...
But even aside from them, lot,
right.
there's been like Ivory Coast at one point had a serious team.
The only team that was close to winning the World Cup was Ghana, and they messed that one up.
I said that's Samoa Jan, bro.
I think personally, it can be done, but I just think that
give me a time
I
frame.
don't, Jerry. I don't know if we'll be alive for that one to happen. But I think
And if
that,
it does, it's gonna be Egypt or Morocco or
Definitely
Algeria
North Africa.
or
but
Tunisia.
I just think like even that kind of, even though we've kind of skipped past it, and we've talked about it already, but even like down to like the racism thing, and like when we see, you know, fans boo certain players and stuff like that, man should just be like, I want to go and play for my mother's country. Because if everyone actually did that, it will be very interesting to see what countries will still bang. I don't think that all the countries that were like France.
Nah,
I don't think that France will bang as much. I don't think that Belgium will bang as much. I don't think who else? What other countries are there that are sick, that just have some black players in it that make up the difference?
Yeah, man. Do you know it's the
Quite a
German? It's the
few.
German ones that know me, man. Where's really good German?
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say,
Get out
like,
of here,
or
man.
Alaba, like, man.
Yeah,
like,
get out of here, man.
So I just think that, like, maybe until it might take a superstar to have enough of being abused by fans and be like, you know what, let me just go to my mum's country or my dad's country where they will love me. Can we look at Callum Hudson-Odoi? Now I think he's
Is
He's
he
gone to Ghana now.
Is he actually gone?
I think so.
I've just been seeing bare propaganda, bare
That's
videos
true,
and stuff.
though.
I don't know if it's confirmed.
But if I was Callum Hudson-Odoi, I would go. You're not like the reality
true,
of it
he's
is
not
you're not
seeing-
getting a sniff.
Same with Wan-Bissaka, you know. Go
Yeah,
to
just
Congo,
go Congo.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true,
man.
Just go Congo.
England
man.
ain't playing you anytime
No,
soon.
No,
But yeah, man. Nah, it's been a blast. Actually, Wan-Bissaka come to Nigeria instead, man. We're gonna do that Congo, bro. No shots. You man, don't come for me. But yeah, nah, it's been a blast. As always, make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, hit the post notification. You comment as well. The conversation doesn't end here. The conversation continues. You know what I mean?
Bruv.
So keep the interaction up. As always, we appreciate you lot, and we are out. Out.